in just 14 days. You can stop hitting the snooze on your phone 5 times to knocking out goals before the sun even shows up. Sounds crazy, right? I used to be stuck in the same cycle, having big dreams, no follow through. I used to tell everybody about my goals, everybody about my ambitions, but then as soon as I started, I was stopped. I knew truly I didn't want it bad enough. But one day I had a moment, and that's when everything shifted. In this video, I'm not selling you any type of dreams or motivation. What I am doing is I'm giving you a guideline so that you can use to build discipline and consistency in your life and finally get the goals and the dreams that you wanted. This is not a video of working hard or you just grinding through like crazy and no stops. This is a real deal video of how to go from being lazy and being disciplined, but disciplined with rest and feeling actually fulfilled in your life. I have 5 steps that rewrite my thought process and allow me to build more discipline and consistency, also living a life fulfilled, one that I'm not tired and one that I'm not stressed out or feeling shame of myself because I forgot to do something. So the real question is, do you really want to change, or do you just feel like you're addicted to the process of wishing for change? So this is how we're going to do it. I gathered inspiration from the book called Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. First, I'll give you guys 5 steps that help me rewrite my lazy patterns. I'll tell you why they work, especially when you feel like giving up, and I'll show you how you can make them yours today. So, but understand this, like the only thing that would change is if you want change badly enough. If you are so tired of your current circumstance, the very first thing I suggest for you guys to do is to have a clear vision of what you want. If you don't know what you want, if you just have a vague idea of, oh, I want to be a successful person, that could be anything, and that won't really keep you motivated. You have to see yourself being the embodiment of what it is that you want. So for me, I've always wanted to just have more freedom in my life, and I always felt constricted to the circumstance I was living my life, until I started to envision my life differently. I started to have pictures, visualizations that I will look up before I go to bed at night. And I will wake up in the morning time and I'll have on the background of my phone the different life that I want to have, like images of that. If I'm at a job that I don't like or a situation I don't like, instead of me just sitting there thinking about, oh, I hate this situation I am, I don't have any freedom, I always have a boss that's demanding me. You have to actually distract yourself from your situation. What is it that you actually want? Do you want to have financial freedom? Do you want to be your own boss? Do you want to be a stay-at-home mom? What is it? And start pitching yourself in that instead of dwelling on the situation that you currently are in. Because when you focus on things that you do not want to have, more of it will show up to you, because your body, the emotions, and the visions that you have in your mind will bring that to you. So start focusing on the opposite of that. So like I said, first thing in the morning time, start picturing what it is that you want. What's that dream life? What is that lifestyle that you want to have? And imagine what it is, and specifically know what it is that you want to have. Not a broad story, not a generic picture of, oh, I want to be a wealthy person one day. Oh, I want to be this, I want to be that. And that's going to make it more hard for you to bring into your life, because you can't actually grasp what it is that you want to have. So know what it is that you want to have and hone in on that. What is it that you want to do in 90 days? What's one thing that's holding you back from doing that? And what's a non-negotiable to get there? Tip 2 is eat that frog and don't look back. That really big thing that's holding you back, that thing that you know that you must do, but you are avoiding it. Maybe it takes a lot of energy. Maybe you're just too lazy. Whatever excuse you're making for yourself, you just need to get that out of the way. Make that big task that you don't want to do and put it up higher priority on your list of things to accomplish. That way, when you eat that frog, when you handle that big thing, then you'll be able to go and enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your time. And then you won't have that nagging voice at the back of your head saying, oh, I have to do this, but I don't want to do it. And you're just ruining your day because you're procrastinating of not doing something that you know that you're supposed to do. Handle that task and do it anyway. I take Pilates, right? I have to do that earlier in my day. If not, I'm not going to do that. Once I realized that, go to the class to schedule it earlier so I can knock that out of my way and then go and enjoy the rest of my day. And once I did that, I became to be more consistent, and it's just more easier for me to do it instead of me looking back and saying, oh, I missed that class because I got so caught up, or I just got distracted, and because I kept putting it off. If we don't feel like doing something, our brain is going to have us take the easiest route. That is just how it is. That's how it was for us just to survive human evolution, right? But what you have to do is to break those familiar patterns. Put it up first, handle that big task that you are avoiding. You know you must do it. Go ahead and tackle it and get it done. And once you start doing that more and more and more, you just have the consistency, the discipline in your system already, to the point where you don't have to think about it and you don't have to dread that process anymore. But it just becomes second nature, and it just becomes natural for you. So a lazy proof version is to put a sticky note on your laptop, on your refrigerator, on your mirror, any place that you frequent, so it reminds you of what you need to do. Because I know, it's kind of messed up, a sense of guilt or shame when you see that, because you notice you're putting it off. But sometimes, hey, some people get motivated by that or not. But tip 3, study, apply, adjust, and repeat. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about showing up on the days that you don't really want to show up. Maybe 25 days out of a month, you showed up for yourself. You ate healthy, and then those rest of the days you did not eat that healthy. Maybe that one week you didn't eat the best, but then that's okay, because you look at the bigger scheme of it all. Don't put too much stress and too much burden on yourself where it's not possible for you to manage something and that you're not actually living your life. Some of those things, it just sets you up for failure. Put a huge burden or load on yourself that that's no way that you could just go from 0 to 100 and keep that up. Some people may have, but they probably have stopped and started, and then it just looks like it that they did that. Take your time. That does not have to be a rush. Start to study people. Look at people who are doing or living a lifestyle that you want to have, and take from that. Don't copy everything that they're doing. Take from pieces of it that you resonate with and make it work for you. I will study different women that are on YouTube, but I would tweak it. I won't just copy it word for word, bite for bite. I will tweak it and make it my own, because I got inspiration from that. And then you iterate. That means that you go back and you change it, go back and change it and perfect it as best as you can. If you find that you feel like you need to grow more and what you're doing is not necessarily working for you, it may be you need to reach out to someone. Keep watching videos like mine, or watch other videos, or just get in contact with people that can actually mentor you. There are services out there. Maybe if you want to go to the gym, get a personal trainer, or find a friend that you know that works out all the time. Work out with them. Ask them, hey, what days you work out? Do you mind me working out with you? Me training with you? Whatever it is that you want to do, that there's someone that's already done that and more advancing than you because they started earlier. And you can use these things and apply it to your situation and make it work for you. And you change it, you iterate it, meaning you go back and forth and you make it perfect for yourself. Tip number 4 is discipline over drama. There are going to be days that you're going to fall off, that you're not going to do it. You're not going to show up for yourself. You're too tired. But that does not mean you quit. That doesn't mean you stop. Sure, take a rest. Listen to your body. Don't go against what your body is telling you. Maybe something in your life is just too much and you need to take some time to tend to your emotions, to tend to whatever it is that you need to tend to. Once you get over that hump or whatever, you know that you're going to go right back into what you need to do. And that's the mentality that you have to have. I take rest and reflection and things like that. It's having compassion for yourself. That is how you love yourself. Sure, showing up for yourself, doing the work, but then sometimes your needs are saying, hey, I need to take a break. I don't feel too good right now. I just not in it. That's a difference between you just feeling like, oh, I'm just a lazy person. You have to have a sense of intuition, knowing when it's time to pause for a second, a time to reflect. But then you don't want to find yourself months and months and months where you are not showing up for yourself the way that you set out for. For me, I remember I was going through some mental stuff, right? Some emotional things, and I was not as consistent eating healthy or going to the gym or being there for people that I love, my loved ones, as much. What I did was I did the bare minimum. I maybe went to the gym probably once or twice a week instead of 5 days a week. Or maybe sometimes I didn't go to the gym. Maybe I just went for a walk. And then some days I wanted to not have so much restriction on my diet. Maybe I wanted to just get a sense of pleasure from eating food, which is not the healthiest thing. in a moment when you just not feeling the best, you just want to treat yourself a bit or just have some sense of love for yourself. It's always best to have a healthy mindset when it takes a moment to pause and to reflect and give yourself some leeway, because what's most important is that even in the moments where you were your weakness, you did show up for yourself. You may not gave 100% of yourself, but that small percent of yourself that you could do was 100%. Getting out of bed maybe that day was 100% for you. Maybe you did not want to do it, but you did it anyway. So another thing that you could do to really help yourself, because all of us, we have moments when we need to pause and we may need to reflect. Make a list of how that looks like for you, of things that you can do. Maybe just you just getting out of bed. Maybe you just walking, or maybe you just speaking to someone, or maybe you just treating yourself with something, and going to the gym maybe once a week. This is what my schedule, my structure is going to look like on the days where I do need to pause and need to reflect. Because women, our hormones change, goes up and down. So don't be so hard on yourself. It's not about shaming yourself. Love yourself. The last tip is to make discipline feel good. Word to myself could be mini celebrating myself. Going to a place that I like to go to, or listen to music, or going by the beach. I don't really rely on just simply like every time I accomplish something I treat myself. To me, it's like, you know, like when that parent that only rewards their child when they do something well, but that sets up like conditional love for me. I like to have the joy out of just having discipline. So I will look at the results that I get and also enjoy the journey of it. Have fun doing the task that leads to the results. And then when I do get the results, I can think about, all the things that I've overcame to get there, instead of relying on treats. It's just about the process, because the whole overall thing for me is about being a more structured person that has their life in order, no matter what it looks like. I don't want to just be conditional and say that, I am going to be rewarded, or I feel only good when I look good, and then I'm going to reward myself, because that kind of teaches like a low sense of self-worth. I want to unconditionally love myself throughout the journey, reward myself throughout the journey, and the reward itself is just the journey. And I know that sounds like so cliche, but the idea of saying, like I did that, is the structure. I fell in love with that process. And the results that I get at the end of the process are going to be even more great. But it's not going to take away from the fact that even when I wasn't my more structured or disciplined self, I still am worthy. And I know that went a little bit deep there, but all of this discipline and things is all about the mindset. And having a healthy mindset, because you don't want to be so rough on yourself, but you also don't want to be too easy on yourself when you're not showing up for yourself. It is a healthy balance, but it's a balance of unconditional love for yourself, because you're showing up for yourself because you love yourself, right? You want better for yourself because you love yourself, but you also don't want to be hard on yourself when you cannot show all the way up for yourself. Think of yourself as like your own child or something. You wouldn't want a parent, again, as an example, to only love you or be kind to you when you're doing what they want you to do. We made it towards the end of the video, and I want you guys to know that if you commit to these 5 tips, no matter what it is that you want to do in your life, you can make it happen within the 14 days. Anyone could do something the first week, and it's pretty cool, right? The second week, that's when a lot of people tend to fall off. If you keep going past that second week, 14 days, you are able to keep it going. These tips that I have shown you guys that I do, it can definitely help you get out of the system of being lazy and quitting on yourself. You'll start choosing action over avoidance and intention over impulse. If this video has been very helpful to you guys, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, peace.